Hi there, welcome to Enigmatica 2. This is actually a mod pack that I found as a kid but never completed. This is the actual expert version of the mod pack, which is the one that I found as a kid. But we are not playing this as a skyblock because I find that that is actually not that far away from the challenge of normal Enigmatica 2, and I find that normal Enigmatica 2 expert is actually somewhat harder than the Skyblock version. You know, Skyblock, it's fun and all. You get Ex Nihilo, but it's basically just Grug right-clicks Civ for 6 hours, gets all the resources they will need for the rest of the game, and goes into creative mode basically, which that has a merit in and of itself. It's an overdone gameplay loop. Enigmatica 2 Expert, without going the Skyblock path, which you can still go on your own, is actually very fun, and that's because you have to play the Expert modded Minecraft version of a normal kitchen sink mod pack. So just let's go into a couple of head rules. I refuse to actually beat Expert modded Minecraft mod packs because their end goals are always unfun. So let's go over some instances of BS that I refuse to do. Greg Tech New Horizons. That's a very shiny example, especially because a certain neurotic goose that I happen to enjoy watching plays Greg Tech New Horizons, and I have tried to play it before, and he's gotten farther than me, and I have to say, Grug built 42 machines that are the exact same expensive machine over and over again, just so he can make one machine that's slightly more expensive that has exactly one crafting recipe tied to it, because one guy decided that adding one recipe to the GTNH tech tree would make his pecker an extra inch longer. That is not fun to me. It is BS, and I refuse to do it. This is basically the entirety of the Louvre tier and above in GregTech, and I've never gone above that in GregTech. I likely never will. Greg Tech is fun, like I'd say like up until like MV for me, but other examples of BS that I refuse to do, things that I find extremely unfun in expert mod packs. Avaricia. Nobody wants to sit and panic for 15 hours to see if there is a singularity inside of their accumulator so that they can make neutronium so that they can go and make whatever BS thing the mod pack wants them to make. Mod pack man, you are not the boss of me. I am not losing my sanity over a singular item. I refuse to do that, and if you rely on this as part of your gameplay, that is somewhat of an attention to your character. Making the expert mod pack item that makes you go creative mode should be fun, not just sit around and wait for 15 hours. In this respect, Greg Tech is actually better than a lot of expert modded Minecraft mod packs, and that is because at least Greg Tech makes you do things for the stupid things that you have to make. Avaricia makes you just sit around for 15 hours per singularity. So Avaricia is not fun, especially without time in the bottle or time in a bundle or whatever item you want to use to tick accelerate it. There's no way to cut it. Avaricia is not fun because it basically just sit and wait. And nobody wants a waiting game when it comes to Minecraft. They want to play Minecraft, not play Minecraft. A very good other thing that is extremely BS, the All the Mods star from the All the Mods Minecraft mod pack. Everybody loves the All the Mods mod packs. I actually enjoy it myself. I do prefer the Skyblock version of it, just because it gives me a little bit more creativity in the ways that I build, because I can effectively just make my own super flat world. It also gives you, Ars Nouveau, which lets you deal with the Chaos Dragon, which in and of itself is BS, because that thing in older versions of Draconic Evolution used to be able to one-shot you while you were in creative mode, and I never enjoyed that aspect of the Chaos Dragon fight in older mod packs. Looking at you, Stoneblock, your version of the Chaos Dragon was not fun when you first came out. But yeah, I will not be doing anything that is completely and entirely unfun. This is part of why I have cheat mode enabled. You will know if I cheated. I will tell you, because I cannot keep my mouth shut when it comes to making mistakes or doing things such as cheating in a game. I do keep cheat mode on in regular Minecraft. Additionally, I play with the keep inventory rule on, and I also play with mob briefing set to false. This is because I don't like when I die and I have to go death walk to go get things that are scattered all over the place. And as cool as grave mods are, half of the time I don't feel like walking to a grave either. I'd rather just keep my inventory and move on and treat death as an annoyance, not, oh my god, the world is ending because this thing I just grinded 15 hours for is gone, and now I have to grind another 15 hours because I died in lava like an absolute idiot. Or, I was shot into lava in like another fortress or something. But that's aside the point. This mod pack also relies on Tinker's Construct for your tooling at the early game portion of it. This is actually very fun, but at the same time, it would be hell for you guys to watch that because the stone tier of tools has 32 durability total. The wood tier has like 16. And who wants to sit there and watch me punch 32 blocks of stone with what resembles basically a caveman hitting rocks with a club, hoping that he gets iron? This is not a thing that's really worthwhile for you guys to watch. So I'm going to edit out actually a lot of the ore progression when it comes to me getting my tooling set up. Matter of fact, I actually already did. I cut in right when I hit iron. Big thing as well, furnaces require you to have coal, which means you do have to mine in order to get furnaces. But that's just a minor thing. It adds maybe 15 minutes of grind to your early game. It's not a big deal. You also have to start off with clay buckets. Everyone has used a clay bucket, at least with like a porcelain clay bucket in Skyblock mod packs. You know how that goes. It's just a difference of I can't make lava, so I have to go find lava, which is like another 2-3 minutes of exploration. Yeah, so if you look inside of the gates section, you'll see that I have unlocked Thaumcraft. We're not going to be jumping straight into that. Instead, we're doing immersive engineering because a lot of the pack is actually going to be locked behind that. Also, welcome to the base. I did some off-screen mining. Yes, I'm leaning heavily into the meme because I don't want you guys to sit around and watch me mine this stuff for like 3 hours. I'm not kidding. This was like 3 hours that I had this paused for while I was recording footage. Let's go ahead and make ourselves some porcelain clay so that we can go ahead and do things we need to do. I'm also running low on food, so we're taking some fertilizer up, and we're going to go and bone meal some apples. This is fertilizer. I believe it's from forestry. It's basically pre-nerf bone meal from 1.7. It's great. I love this stuff in every mod pack it's in. I don't love forestry, though. But, yeah, this stuff is great. I absolutely love it. Yeah, so, now we've gone ahead. We've got our resources so we can eat, and we've gone and got our sandstone and made coke brick. We can actually proceed into the immersive engineering quest line. That's what you see me doing right here. We end up claiming this stuff for the coke oven. It's a 3x3 multi-block. You throw coal in it, you get coal coke out and creosote oil out. Creosote oil burns for like 30 seconds, which is like 2 items, basically. It isn't something that's too good. We're just going to whack it down into the wall right over here. I mean, it doesn't make sense to have a giant multi-block structure just jutting out of the wall for no reason. Besides, this is going to be right next to where I plan to put future storage. Just the problem is, yeah, we've got to go to the Nether. There's no really other way of sourcing blaze powder because I don't feel like sieving dust or doing the ex nihilo stuff while we are in creative. So we are going to end up going into the Nether, but if I remember correctly, I went ahead and I made an integrated dynamic squeezer first because I noticed that they had that, and that offers some early game ore doubling. Not reliable ore doubling. It's like 50 or 75% chance of doubling your ore, but still it is early game ore doubling. There is one problem I noticed with this though, which it happens later. The old throw an armor stand on it trick doesn't work. You can't just toss armor stands down on your integrated dynamic squeezer in Enigmatica 2 because, well, when you hit the button to reset it or send the redstone signal to reset it, it just stands. It doesn't jump. It doesn't go fast. There's no momentum. But the squeezer does actually have quite a few unique recipes for this pack. Probably the seed oil one is one we're going to end up using a lot more later on. But let's go ahead and pop on forward. Yeah, so we decided to get ahead on ourselves and make the alloy kiln from Immersive Engineering. It's a little 2x2 multi-block. I forgot why I decided to place it. I also accidentally placed it in the wrong spot for my preferences, so I ended up actually having to rebuild it. Luckily, that's a pretty quick process. I just forgot I had Global Traveler active on my Illumite pickaxe, and ended up having to go over to my chest to rebuild it. This is actually the Immersive Engineering way of getting your alloys made, but we won't be using that for a little while. So I decided, since I have to go into the nether anyways, I might as well go ahead and make a quick little sword. We're not going to go for the big sword from Tinker's. We're just going to go straight for like a long sword, something with a lunge, something that's nice and easy and quick to make, does decent damage. If I'm not mistaken, I make it out of Illumite as well. Later, I'm probably going to switch this over to Manulin. But it wasn't too hard. It wasn't that big of a deal. And since we're going into the nether anyways, this thing's going to get a ton of quartz on it for the sharpness buff. And I'm going to throw a bunch of fortune on it later. Just so we can use it for more drops. It's kind of redundant. But yeah, I decided to go ahead and squeeze some iron for some reason. I stood here for like 3 minutes squeezing iron so I could get double iron. And I promptly, later on, forgot that I could squeeze blaze rods to get 3 minimum blazed powder out of it instead of 2. So, yeah, it's a lot of good that the integrated dynamic squeezer did for me here. You know, I kind of just wasted my time and sat around awkwardly. Yeah, that's enough of that. Now that I think about it, the squeezer is actually a really boring piece of tech. It is cool for early game ore doubling, but it's actually really boring. I wish there was more for the early game mod packs. You know, when it comes to the expert mode or skyblock mode. But, I mean, unfortunately, nothing really does it as good as the squeezer. Because the squeezer doesn't have durability. You just have to eat here and there. And you can place armor stands down, but in this mod pack, you can't. I decided to go ahead and make myself iron armor, which in this pack requires me to have leather armor, which, yeah, that's annoying, isn't it? But you know what? I understand why they made this decision. It is ultimately actually a kind of interesting one. You know, it forces a tiering, at least for the vanilla armors. If I'm not mistaken, you can still make the osmium armor, and I only thought about that while editing. So, yeah, that's my fault for not making osmium armor, which is in every way, shape, and form way better than making iron armor. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pop into the nether here. First step into the nether in this mod pack, and it's not as scary as in some other packs. It's still, you know, the nether. It's annoying because we have biomes aplenty, so there's thorns everywhere. Luckily, we spawned right on top of some nether quartz, so we just mine that out, and Global Traveler is going to send it all the way into our into our chest on the opposite side of the world, effectively. It's a very easy little bit of resource collection we can do right off of the bat. See a little Tinker's slime island over there. We're not going to use it yet. I mean, the Tinker's slime is really good for getting yourself some early game travel, but we're actually after this glowstone because there's a lot of cool blocks you can build with glowstone with chisel. And here, Ardite get. All we need now is some cobalt, and we can make Manulin. Enjoy Piglin Torture. Yeah, enjoy the piglin torture sounds, and me trying and failing to get my way all the way out of this bramble jungle. You know, we spotted another fortress, so I'm piling up to try and get there. But unfortunately, Blazes, man, they've got aimbot. Yeah, that's too bad. Luckily, I have keep inventory, but that's annoying. So coming from a different angle, and luckily the blaze has despawned this time, we are actually able to make it into the nether fortress. You know, I decided to make the entrance a little bit wider just so I don't get sniped by a blaze. It's not much consolation, but at least I can get up here somewhat reliably. I'll have to build my path here better because I did pile up again just from a different angle. You know, we liberate some magma cubes of their cream, you know, some blazes of their rods. I'm sorry, Mr. Blaze. I don't know what your rod is for. I don't know if it's a reproductive organ. All I know is I need it. And after this, we're going to go ahead. We're going to break the spawner because we have Ender IO in the pack, and that means we can do some shenanigans with broken spawners. I have long since forgotten how to do that, so instead, I pick a fight with a skeleton while a blaze is shooting me, and I proceed to go fight the blaze next to a spawner and commit to die. Yeah, I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, but at least it's a fast travel home, right? It's markedly better than the other choice, which is remembering where the heck I put my portal at. We go ahead and we claim the quest rewards for the kiln brick and for the treated wood plank quests. This is going to net us a couple of decent goodies, believe it or not. Something good from quest rewards. We get a spawner seeker from Cyclic, not too useful to me, but we also get us a premium water can from Mystical Agriculture. The water's a 9x9 area, and it tick accelerates your crops. We also decide to go ahead and smelt down our Ardite and Cobalt from the Nether, and we get ourselves a Manulin pickaxe head. This is actually where I prefer to be at in most packs for my pickaxes, and that's just because a lot of packs make Manulin its own mining tier, and, well, Enigmatica 2 is no exception. Go ahead and we make ourselves a engineering workbench from Immersive Engineering. Go figure. A lot of mods actually rely on this and force you to go back to the blueprint. We set up some nether brick smelting, break down our cobblestone generator that we got as a quest reward like 20 minutes ago. I just forgot to include it. I will say that I forget to right-click this until much later. I didn't feel like fishing for it, so enjoy not knowing when I right-click it. We go ahead and make some iron plates so we can make some sheet metal so that we can then go ahead and make a fluid trash can. This is going to let us void out the creosote oil for when we do not need it. And we are now going to go ahead and make some LV capacitors because we have some power running. I forgot to film me setting up the water wheel, but just know that I found a magic beam. Yeah, this is another thing from Cyclic. It gives you random stuff. Back to Immersive Engineering, though. Yeah, I forgot to record myself setting that up. That's my fault. I will also tell you right now that the thing you attach the water wheel to, it decided to just delete itself from existence when I placed it. I didn't find this bug anywhere, but worth it for you to know. I did cheat it back in. Interesting thing, automatic cheat mode setting is to have it set to 64. And I just didn't enjoy that. And now we build ourselves 3 external heaters, which means we luckily now have a fast furnace that does not need fuel. Yeah, this is actually a pretty big upgrade for us in Enigmatica. Believe it or not, this is a major upgrade. Our furnace will go faster when we need it to go faster. It will not need fuel so long as I can supply power. But, yeah, it's all around a good upgrade for us. That said, that is all the time we have for today. If you would like to support me, go ahead and leave some comments down below. Hit the subscribe button, the like, all of those usual support options that are available. and I will see you later.